Well, this incident occurred a few years back. I was dispatched to report of a domestic disturbance. A husband had returned home and heard some noise from his bedroom. It was after midnight. No one was supposed to be home. His wife had worked a late shift at a local bar. So he called out loudly that he had a pistol and I'm going to shoot it for whoever's in my bedroom. So he crashed through the bedroom door and a man jumped out of the second story bedroom window, and the husband's naked wife screamed from the bed that some man had just sexually assaulted her. All of that information had been broadcast over the police radio, and I was driving into the area and saw something quite unusual. A man was attempting to run down the sidewalk to get dressed at the same time. Seemed a bit unusual, so I pulled him over and blue lighted him. Told him, "Stop what you doing, get down," and assumed the felonious prisoner. So, in other words, get on the ground, put your hands out. I looked down at him and then I started laughing till I almost passed out. Here was a local bartender that I knew from many police contacts in this area, laying face down. He had a lady's black top pulled over his head that barely covered his chest. And also tried to pull up a pair of ladies' black panties and women's black slacks, but couldn't get them up over his thighs because he was running too hard. Something told me that this bartender was the other half of the suspicious activity at the apartment. I called my partner who was inside the apartment trying to get the story from the husband and the wife. I asked him to go into the bedroom to look for any clothing that might be on the floor, and sure enough, there was a bartender's black suit with his name embroidered. Black slacks and underwear down inside the slacks. And yeah, you guessed it, the bartender had closed the bar earlier to help the waitress count her tips. In their haste to get naked, they had both peeled off their clothes and laid them on the floor next to the bed. They were both naked in bed when the husband had arrived. When the bartender jumped off of her and vaulted out the window, he had grabbed the wrong pile of clothes. He could not figure out why his clothes were so tight as he tried to run and get them on at the same time. It also was funny as hell because they both needed to exchange their clothing at the end. They were all very embarrassed. My shift partners and I laughed about that for years.